Welcome back to Chemical Engineering Statistics. In this section, we will discuss about basic variations of the full factorial design. As the number of factors in the factorial experiment grows, the number of effects that can be estimated also grows. For example, if we have 2 to the power of 6 experiment, which has 6 factors, these experiments or this factorial design experiment will have 6 main effects, 15 two-factor interactions, 23 factor interactions, 15 four-factor interactions, 6 five-factor interactions, and 1 six-factor interaction. In this situation, we can apply the sparsity of effects principle, which says that the system is usually dominated by the main effect and low-order interaction. So the 3-factor and higher-order interaction can be neglected. When we have extensive factor like this, and due to the limited resources such as time, funds, and material, it is common to run a full factorial experiment without replication. So in the previous section, when we talk about factorial design, we always have replication, either is a duplo or triplicate. But now, when we have extensive factor, we can do full factorial experiments without replication. However, as replication is necessary to measure the true error of experiments, conducting the full factorial with no replication at all will result on the complication when we do ANOVA, because ANOVA cannot calculate the p-value at no replication experiments. So the solution for this problem is that we can perform a rough analysis using effects plots, such as by using Pareto, normal or half normal effect, and we can determine which effects are not significant, and then we do the refined model by excluding those effects. In that way, ANOVA can calculate the F0 and p-value because now it has enough degree of freedom. This is the example of the full factorial experiment without replication. So first, we do data analysis as usual based on the data here, and then we can have either Pareto, normal, or half normal. In this example, we have normal probability plot. Based on this plot, we can conclude that the effect that is significant to the model is A, C, D, AD, and AC. Other effects here are not significant to the model. In the refined model, we can exclude those effects, those insignificant effects, and then finally we can have the p-value for each effect, either is mean effect or interaction effect. And also we can have the regression coefficient for each effect to build the models. The other variation of factorial design is the center point runs. So in the center point run, we augmented our experiment design by adding one or more experiment on the center point runs. So for other experiment or other runs, we can do those runs without replication, but then we add one or more runs at the center point. So the center point runs can be used to estimate the sum of square of error or true error without having to replicate all runs. It can also act as the control runs to check the precision and stability of the measurement over the duration of experiment, and it can also be used to check the non-linearity or curvature of the response. This is the example of the 2 to the power of k experiments by using center point runs. So here we have 4 experiments which are without replication. The value of temperature and time here is varied from each experiment, and then we add 3 experiments or 3 runs at the center point. And this is the result of the center point factorial design. As we already discussed a lot about interpretation of the ANOVA table, so for this case, please try to interpret the results here at confidence level of 95%. We will discuss the interpretation of this data during the class today. Thank you, and this is the last video of the semester. See you next year.